The following film reflects the findings of our research with young adults in the UK who were conceived through anonymous sperm donation. How did the young adults we spoke to find out they were donor conceived? And how, at this stage of life, did they feel about this information, the donor, and others conceived using the same donor? The stories you're about to hear are based on transcripts of interviews conducted as part of the research.
I was born in 1999, and to be honest, I couldn't tell you when. I couldn't pinpoint exactly when I was told, so I guess I've been told my whole life. We got the books that they write for children about this. I think it's called My Story. It's basically a story about parents who need help to have their children and introduces the idea of a donor in a language that children can understand. And so I do remember reading that as a kid quite a lot, and the book had nice pictures in it, so I'd just look at the pictures.
My mum used to read me the book repeatedly. I used to not like hearing it. I hated it. And it wasn't deep. It was more that I didn't understand what it was, and it's quite sad. There is a small, I wouldn't call it a grieving process, but it's more of an anxiety, I think, around being told that you're different, but not being able to understand how. But I think what it means is that you're ready. It means you're ready. It means that when questions come up about families, you go, I know there's an extra piece of the puzzle here for me, and I'll have to think about that.
I was born in 1990. I was told I was donor conceived from a clinic using sperm from a donor in 2018. I was 28. Mum and I were on the way home from a long car journey. We pulled into the service station and she said, I have something I need to tell you. And my mind jumped to, she's going to tell me she's ill or something, and I started to panic.
I kind of didn't know what to make of it. So I kind of, in one way I thought I was about to discover some sort of like EastEnders storyline or something. I just didn't, without having an understanding of the normal story of donor conception or the prevalence of donor conception. I just, I think I thought maybe that this was something very weird and unique to me, and that I was going to have to now rethink every family relationship, and even every kind of family friend relationship or whatever, because maybe one of them would be the sperm donor or something.
I was born in 1996, so after the law change in August 1991. I can access non-identifying information about the donor from the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority. But I'm personally not interested. I realised recently that if you were to take my family out of the equation, I'd probably say yes. I'd probably say, if you gave me the opportunity to have all the possible information about him, but no one else would know, I would take it, 100%. And if it was possible for me to meet him without anyone else knowing, I would. But I don't think I could deal with how I think my family would deal with it. And I don't feel like it's something that's missing on a day-to-day basis at all.
I had the little form that the donor signed and gave to us, and he wrote his likes and dislikes and what his interests were and his hair colour and his height and stuff. And, just looking at someone's handwriting is quite weird. And it was quite funny because, so his interests were cooking and running, and I've been running for my whole life. So yeah, that was quite funny. And then cooking, I just really like cooking. But also my dad really loves cooking. So that was quite funny because it was we're all quite similar in a weird way. And obviously those things you don't inherit, but somehow we just kind of found that we all liked running and cooking.
I've always known that I was donor conceived. There wasn't a moment where I was told. Like I've just always known. And yeah, I wanted to know who the donor was since I was little. But when I requested more information, I learned I have a big brother and a little sister. My donor siblings or diblings, siblings. And I have no idea who they are. I could know them. I could not. Like, how annoying is that? Like, I've got this whole sort of genetic family that I'm never going to know. Well, I mean, I might, but it is a bit frustrating. It's not nice not knowing who they are.
So we had another conversation very soon after the first, and I think at that point I just wanted answers. But the information she had about the donor was so sparse. It was basically like he might have been from Leeds, he might have been from Manchester. She said that they were told that he might have been a doctor at one of the hospitals, and that apart from matching my dad's looks to a profile, that was all they knew.
On Christmas Day, I was thinking, how is my donor spending his Christmas? Like, is he married? Does he have kids of his own? Do I have more siblings? Does he live within an hour radius of me? Does he live 5 minutes down the road? Does he live in another country? Like what does he do for a living? Is he famous? Is he a nobody? Like what? You know what I mean? There's just so many unanswered questions. You know, it's not like I can call up my half brother or sister and go to them for sport and help and talk to them, because I don't know them either.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful that I wasn't born when things weren't being kept track of, and that I couldn't have even applied for the basic information. And right now, I'm waiting to receive it, and I can't really say with absolute certainty that I'm not interested beyond that information. But for the time being, yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, is he musical, or has he got eyes like mine, or hair, or like is he my height? Do you know, that's what I'm interested in.
I don't need to know, like, who he is or who his family is. I don't need to know his life. It just would be interesting to know more out of curiosity. Or things like, by the way, ovarian cancer or whatever runs in our family.
Mainly I find it interesting from so I wonder if we share, like, it's almost like an academic perspective. I think it would just be cool. I don't think I'd meet him and have a connection or anything like that. I feel like he would just be a complete stranger. It's not emotional. It's much more about curiosity and, yeah, to learn more about myself, I guess.
If you're donor conceived, the amount of information you can access about the donor and others conceived using the same donor depends, according to UK law, on your birth date. A summary of the legislation and what it means for you, along with more information about the findings of our research, can be found by following the QR code on the screen.